Hey there, this is Jen T. Grace, founder and CEO of Publish Your Purpose. And I am here for a book launch of Waking Up to Feeling with author Alexandra Cabot. Hello, how are you doing today?
I am well. Good to see you, Jen.
Oh, it's always nice to see your face. And I'm so excited that we're finally at the place where your book is out. It is available for people to buy. As I was just telling you a few minutes ago, right now it's number 12 on Amazon around skin ailments, which is super exciting. So first, I would love to just kind of ask you a little bit, kind of like what's the high level of what your book is about?
Well, I have had my skin condition of eczema since I was 2 months old and very badly throughout my childhood and adolescence and even in my 20s. And I've had it a lot during the decades since then.
Mm.
And I wanted people to be more aware of eczema and all of the physical agony, but also the psychological and
Mm.
other kinds of problems that are very common when you have it severely. So that's my real reason for wanting to write about it.
Mm. What do you hope that someone who's reading this book, is like, I guess, what's your hope that the reader's going to kind of take away from having learned about, because your story, obviously eczema is a huge piece of it, but there's so much more there too. What are you hoping that your reader takes away from this?
Well, I think the "you are not alone" message is
Mhm.
always welcome. And to just see another human being struggling to figure out what to do. As
Mhm.
you know, I wrote this during the pandemic
Mhm.
and was feeling very alone and frustrated. And so it was for absolutely the best thing for me was the therapy it provided me to write
Mhm.
about it. So I'm hoping that one of the things people may take from it is that may help them as well.
Yeah. Yeah, well, the subtitle of your book is An Expressive Journey of Intentional Healing, which I love. Can you speak to what you mean by intentional healing?
I have just been so desperate at so many different points in my life that I have tried an awful lot of different things. And I love having friends from way back tease me about sitting under a blue light. And I don't know. I mean, I could go on and on. So it was, I would say the last, uh, well, particularly the last 10 years, I've been working hard, exploring things like long distance healing
Mhm.
and massage and all sorts of acupuncture. So many integrative medical things. And I'm just exploring in order to try to relieve the suffering. And I just think that other people can hear about my experiences.
Yeah. Like you already kind of alluded to, at this point, it's about helping others through your story and spreading awareness and a bigger message around, I think that people have assumptions perhaps of, what eczema is or does to your body. But I think your book really goes into significant detail on how that actually impacts someone's life.
I also am very much promoting looking inside of ourselves to
Mm.
look at the emotions, especially their impact on our bodies, and that 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 exploration has proven to be very valuable for me, and um, I so that's another way that I hope it will be helpful.
Yeah, I love that. And so we have a couple of comments that have come in from Nancy, who says congratulations and thank you for sharing your story. And then Rome, who says congratulations. So we've got some PYP family here watching
Oh,
and supporting you, and very excited that your book is out.
Oh, thank you. That's lovely.
Yeah, and I want to. I'm just going to put you on the spot for a minute, and I want to talk about author terror at the moment because we were just together a couple of weeks ago at the Mark Twain House having a beautiful festive event filled with authors and people who are aspiring to be authors. And you were one of our gracious, gracious authors that spoke. And I think it's interesting that as we were going live with this, because there's tech involved and there's always a problem with technology, it seems. But to just kind of talk about the difference between sitting on a stage and seeing people and being able to interact with people and seeing body language versus what we're doing right now, which is completely virtual. We're both just talking in our respective rooms at a screen and hoping for the best. So I want to just, because I think it's interesting, just because I know you're not the only one who actually finds it a little more intimidating to be virtual versus in person. So do you have any kind of tips or thoughts to share with someone else who might be an aspiring author who will one day be sitting where you are?
Well, you and your assistant Bailey have been phenomenal hand holders that have helped me through all the technology nightmares. Because for me, probably the hardest thing about doing the memoir was dealing with technology.
Mm-hmm.
But also, as far as author terror, the vulnerability that we all share, which is one of the reasons it was such a pleasure to be with you last week with the other authors, because we all know how scary it is to put it out. A great deal of my book is just my journal or my pretty private writing group that I write with. And so it is very hard in our competitive culture to put yourself out there. And my best friend warned me, really almost begged me not to do this because of what she expected would be negative feedback. That's why it's so nice to include people listening with interest. So, I think I certainly can say for myself that I'm not doing this because I think I'm a good writer. I'm doing this because it provides me with a feeling of it feels really good to share one story. And we hear this again and again from not just writers, but speakers. It's coming at us from all sides right now. So telling your story is therapeutic and good, but it does involve feeling vulnerable. And for some of us, it's easier to feel vulnerable. I think maybe having had eczema so much of my life and been ugly enough to look at that I'm stared at when in public, that's another kind of related kind of vulnerability. So I've gotten sort of used to that kind, but certainly not about putting my writing out there.
Yeah, I like that, because I think what you're touching on is, in at least from where I sit and what I see, is that the more vulnerable and raw and real we can be in our writing, the scarier it is for us, but the more relatable it is to our reader.
I've read that years ago. I remember reading, the more personal you are, the more universal it is. And I've had time and time and time again experience that listening to other people and their writing in particular. So yes, I think that's a
Yeah.
good point.
And I also want to just kind of hop over to the fact that we met through Eduardo Placer, who runs Fearless Communicators, and you did one of the Fearless Communicators talks. And so you've also stood on a stage and delivered in a TED Talk style your story, of which is also included in this book. What was is there any way to contrast or compare standing on the stage and delivering that talk versus the scariness of having your book now in writing?
Wow, I wish I could leap for joy about the fact that I was able to meet Eduardo and do Fearless Communicators, and through that experience discovered that my children were impressed by my
Mm.
story. That was a moment that this elder was euphoric because they said, my God, I didn't know, you could do that. And then I met you, as of course the very first night, the first day of that workshop,
Mhm.
and then signed up, and you have helped me all the way through 2 years of this. But it was the noticing how much people responded positively
Mhm.
with, of course, the coaching that always helped about how to tell the story. But
Yeah.
it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. And I have to say, this journey with you of writing the memoir has been a hell of a fun adventure. So that has
Yeah.
helped me, by the way, to view it like that. To
Mm.
sort of say, well, this is something I've certainly never done. I never thought in 1,000 years I could do it. And by God, it's happened. So I'm excited.
I am too, because like you said, it's been 2 years in the making. And we're here, and your book launched last week. And like I said before, you were on the stage with us just the prior week. And so, like, now is the time to celebrate and be excited. And Amazon clearly shows that your book is doing well and people are interested in it. So it's like this is that moment to kind of just bask in the glow of the fact that you did this really big thing that a lot of people dream to do, but can't necessarily get done often.
Thank you so much. I'm going to bask.
Yes. Yes, like a lizard, go
So,
go bake out on a rock.
right. Yeah. Thank you so much, Jen. Yeah.
Uh, is there any final words or final thoughts that you want to share before we conclude?
Um, what comes to mind is that I hope people remain kind on the internet
Mm,
with comments about people's books, because I am really still so scared of
yeah.
the what I fear might be comments that hopefully will never come. But I just do think that kindness is what we have to every day during this incredibly weird time that we're all going through together, to just keep on. Just the little things mean a lot. So
Mhm.
thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, you are very welcome. And I will say that this is the case with I don't want to say all authors, I don't want to generalize, but most is that you could have 50 five-star glowing reviews and comments saying how amazing this book is, but it only takes the one negative one to throw us all completely off track. So hopefully we don't have to
Exactly.
deal with it at all, but you would not be alone if you focused on the negative versus the positive, because that's what
Yeah,
we do as humans.
that's true. I agree. So I'll try to keep remembering that. So
Yes.
thank you for the support I've already gotten. I appreciate it.
Of course. And the support's still here. We'll continue to be here. You know that. But it's been wonderful chatting with you. I'm just so excited that your book is here. It's been a 2 year journey. We are now at this new starting line, a finish line and a new starting line with your book. So if anyone who is watching is interested in checking it out, it is called Waking Up to Feeling by Alexandra Cabot, and it's available anywhere you want to buy a book. You can go find the book. So I encourage you specifically to support local bookstores. If you have a local bookstore, you can walk in. They will not have it on the shelf, but you can say, hey, can I order this book? There's also bookshop.org, which is an online bookstore that really supports local independent bookstores. So we're big proponents of really kind of supporting local. So your book is everywhere. I encourage everyone to check it out. And if you are looking for any more information on any other of our authors, you're welcome to head over to publishyourpurpose.com and find any information there. Thank you so much, Alexandra. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to talk to you very soon.
Thank you. Bye bye.